Hi, Lori here. I'm excited to chat with you ladies a little bit about how amazing this makeup is for mature skin. I'm 52 years old. I definitely don't have perfect skin, but I wanted to talk to you about how come cream makeup is like the absolute best for mature skin. So let's get started. I'm just gonna kind of like pull my hair back a little bit so that it'll be out of the way and you guys can see how amazing this is. So I actually like to start with this primer. It's called Becca Backlight Primer. You certainly don't need to start with a primer. It's something that you can try the makeup first and then see if you would like to try a primer. This one is a little bit pricey. Honestly, I don't use it every day, but I do want to throw this out there that sometimes ladies like a primer, okay? Now this primer doesn't like fill in pores. It's not silicone based. That's one of the most important things is you want to make sure that you're talking to your artist about what other products you're using on your face, just to make sure that we don't have anything that don't quite work really well together. And silicone based primers are kind of a no-no with this makeup. If it's silicone based, the primer or the makeup will just slide all over the top of the primer. So make sure if you're choosing to use some type of a primer that it is non-silicone based. You can also use the Stay Spray as a primer, and that works really well for a lot of people. So first things first, there's a couple of areas on my face that I like to make sure that I'm like decreasing the contrast of the skin. I tell people you don't need to do this step if you don't want to, and many times we like you to keep it super simple in the beginning and just get your main colors, like your highlight, contour, blush, and illuminator, and sometimes a brightening highlight, and see if that gives you the coverage that you want. I am actually just using a color called Aspen. It's a contour, and I'm just placing it on my nose to kind of decrease that redness. I'm now gonna take and put a little bit of a color called Frenchie under my eyes because of the blue that I have under my eyes. But again, I don't do this step every day and I get really good results without it, but I always like to let people know that there are a few different steps that you can try if you're not quite getting the exact result that you're hoping for. And that's why you reach out to your artist and have them help you. That's what we're here for. That's what Kara wanted us here for as artists, was to be able to help you guys individually. So I'm going to go in and do a little bit of contouring. Now, when you are contouring, you really want to try and lift that face up. Okay, that's kind of where the magic of highlighting and contouring is for mature skin, is it's like a mini facelift done in like 5 minutes. Okay, so you really want to make sure that you're keeping the contour tucked right up underneath that cheekbone. You can see I start kind of at the top of my ear, and I actually bring it down and cup it underneath my cheekbone. And the reason that I do that is because I have such a thin, narrow face. I'm actually trying to create a little bit of volume. So your artist is also really good to help you know how to contour, and especially for your face shape. So just know that we are here and happy to help, but make sure that you're reaching back out to the artist that invited you here. They're super excited to have you here and want to make sure that you are taken care of. So I'm just kind of going in and darkening a little bit with a little bit of a darker contour. And you can see that looks a little bit scary right now, but you're gonna see how the magic comes together. So I was using the Detail Hack brush. This brush works fantastic for contouring. I love it. Then I'm going to use the B squared brush, this fluffy end. And the reason I use these brushes is because I feel like this brush actually moves the product around where I have lots of wiggles. because I have wiggly skin, okay? And that's what happens as we get a little bit older. We have wiggly skin, okay? So now I'm just going to use the highlight, this color right here, everywhere where I don't have contour, okay? So I'm literally just kind of swooping it around, pressing it where I want to make sure and get it into all the little cracks and crevices. Up here on my forehead, I kind of do it in like a fan up on the forehead. And then I'm gonna kind of go underneath my eyes. This is still the main color, the main highlight color. This is not the brightening one yet. I like to make sure and do this one everywhere on around my eye, even on the eyelid. You can see what that does for the eyelid, and it's like literally taking me seconds to do that. And so for days that I don't necessarily want to do the eyeshadow, just by cleaning up my eyelids, it already looks better. Okay, now what I'm going to do next is I'm actually going to go into this brightening highlight right here. I actually use Aura, and I'm just going to put a little bit on the brush like this, and I'm going to brighten underneath the eye. Okay, see what that does? See how it like just really brightens up my under eye? Just like that. I'm actually going to take this brush again, the Detail Hack, and I'm going to go down the sides of my nose to do just a little bit of a nose contour. And what this does is it just kind of helps my nose look not quite so bumpy and not quite so wide. And I'm using a color called Henna. I flip my brush over and use this end, and I'm going to go down the center of my nose with that brightening color. Okay? Easy peasy, right? Now let's talk about doing a little bit of blush. So we have a ton of blush options. They are so fun and so many different choices. Here's kind of my small little kit of, I've divided some of them up and put them into smaller compacts or smaller tins so that I can have like smaller ones in my personal compacts. But I'm going to go in and use a little bit of sandstone first. And I'm just going to kind of dab it right above where the contour is. Okay, just literally right above it, right on top of it, actually. And then I just kind of blend those two together. And then if you're like me and you're a mixer, I like to go into one that's a little bit brighter. I'm going to go into Dahlia and just kind of pop it right on the apples of my cheeks. Just like that. Now, bronzer. Bronzer will be your best friend as you age, because what happens is we lose that really pretty glow in our face and our skin. And so what we do is we actually add that back in with a little bit of bronzer. The cool thing about our bronzer is it's a cream bronzer. So I'm actually going to take this fluffy side, and I have an illuminator next to it that I actually kind of swirl in together. And then I'm just going to kind of buff it around my forehead where I feel like the sun kisses my forehead, kisses maybe the tops of my cheeks, just like that. Isn't that amazing, you guys? The glow is real with this makeup. Take a little bit of setting spray, really kind of douse your face down good. And then I actually like to use a little bit of powder. Our vanilla dust is amazing. And I just take the fluffy end and dab it in, and I just kind of touch over the places on my face where maybe I feel like I will touch, because I'm always touching my nose and I'm always touching my chin. And then if you've got a little bit too much shine on your forehead, I don't use any powder underneath my eyes, because what happens with us mature gals is it just kind of dehydrates underneath our eyes as the day goes on and causes it to show the wrinkles. Now, if you feel like, and if this happens and you've got, it starts to settle in your wrinkles, it's so cool. But literally the coolest thing you do with cream makeup is you touch it. and it like actually smooths it back out again. Okay, so that's just usually a sign that you're using a little bit too much product. And so you just back down a little bit and then you are taken care of. I'm gonna put a little bit of color on my lips, and I'm just using a really pretty color called Nude. And it's the same thing that you can put on your cheeks. You can actually use it as eyeshadow. I'm gonna put it on my lips, and then we need a little bit of illuminator. Now for mature skin with illuminators, okay, there are a lot of ladies that are really afraid of too much sparkle and too much shine. And so you would likely want to use a cream illuminator. I absolutely love the new one. It's called Dolce, and it is so pretty. And you just put it on with your finger. You just take and dab it on with your finger, okay? And it just gives you an extra layer of shine. Now, if you want to be extra and use one of the powder illuminators, let me grab my other palette. I actually love Glamazing. It's this one right here. And I take this brush, which is called the Best Blend Forever, and I get some on it, tap it off, and put it right above the blush. Be careful not to go into the wrinkles of your eye, because anything that you put sparkle on kind of shows up. So you kind of want to keep it just below the wrinkles, but so pretty, right? Absolutely the prettiest thing. Now, what I would do next is I would go in and do some contour on my brows to fill it in, a quick eyeshadow, and some mascara, and I am good to go. You guys, so fast, so easy. And if you think you're too old to contour, I beg to differ. It literally is like paint by number. You literally get one of these cards in your package, hang it up on your mirror, and you're just literally going to follow exactly where they tell you to place the product. Another trick that I use is to use the number 3 or the letter E. So you're going around your forehead, under your cheekbone, and down under your jawline. Under the jawline just kind of helps lift this sagging skin up a little bit. And again, it's like a facelift for mature skin. So that's it, you guys. Super easy, 12 minutes with me talking and explaining, and you can have like really pretty, naturally healthy looking, glowing skin again, even over 50 or 60 or 70, because my mom loves the makeup too. So make sure that you guys, if you have any questions, direct them back to your artist that invited you here. She will be happy to take care of you and teach you how amazing this makeup is for us mature ladies. So you guys have a good day and have fun. Enjoy the bash, and we'll talk to you guys soon.